Housing is always doing well. There's no threat to housing, and there's perception that the elections have slowed down the market. In the buyer's mind, that may be so, but effectively, it's not so serious because people who have to buy a house have to buy a house. So it's as it was. It's pretty stable. There has been no correction. Where is the correction? There's no scope for a correction. It's only maybe in properties which are very highly priced, over 10,000 rupees a square foot or 8,000 rupees a square foot, where there may be some slight correction. Otherwise, across the country, the properties which are priced between 5 to 6,000 rupees a square foot, or maybe between 4,500 to 6,500 rupees a square foot, there's not much scope for correction because construction costs have gone up, land costs have gone up, so the developer cannot really bring down his prices. So there's not much scope for a correction. Obviously residential, because it's a documented fact that there's a shortage of good housing in the country, so residential always helps you perform better. These bills have not really become a reality, but the industry is getting more regulated on its own because that's the only way to survive. When these bills come, there are certain shades of grey in the bills, which we are fighting with government to change because they will encourage corruption. So once the government does this correction in the proposed bills, they will be a help to the industry, not in the present form. Well, we are trying to get a single window clearance system, and we've appealed to the ministry also. It's a process, it's not something that can be done overnight, but the ministry realizes, the housing ministry, central government realizes that it is the need of the hour. They are making an effort. There's resistance from within bureaucracy, within politicians, not to let this happen because there are vested interests. So we from industry are trying to get in the scenario for a single window clearance system so that it cuts a lot of human interaction and a lot of corruption. Well, it is, like I said, there's a perception that there may be instability in the country, in the economy after the election. I don't see it much of a deterrent because this happens every time there's an election. So till the elections are not done, there will be some sort of not a really, I shouldn't call it a slowdown, some sort of a slow decision-taking period from the buyer's perspective. But the intent to buy housing and property will always remain because he needs the house, the buyer. Well, affordability is something which has to be encouraged by government by making sanctions more affordable, by making land more affordable, by making construction materials and taxation more efficient and lesser. So once that comes in, affordability will come in and naturally sustainability follows.